I've never allowed myself to accept that there's no other reality besides that. And I feel like that's the only way you're gonna get to where you want to be, because if you're not relentless, if you're not delusional about your goals, about your aspirations, about the life that you want, then who else will be, for one, besides you? Because it's for you. And two, how can you ever expect to get there if you never believed you were going to get there in the first place? Welcome to my channel. It's Ami. I don't know. This is like really random, like very, very random. I think I'm gonna just be yapping on this for real, because I just left the Poor Minds live show in Atlanta, date 2. Today is July, well, technically it's July 11th because it's midnight now, but July 10th basically. And I had such a great time, per usual. I already knew I was gonna have a great time. This is my 3rd time going to their show. Only reason why I'm even bringing this up, only reason why I felt the need to even make this video is because after leaving, I'm in the Rarity, all that breathing. No, we're not doing that right now. I just felt very like motivated and inspired on my lift back home, and I've been feeling that way for the whole week actually, because I just left Essence Fest for the first time this weekend. I went with my marketing internship, and it was just so motivating to see all of these like successful businesses, Black owned businesses, African, like people that were not even just American Black, but African people as well, like them being there, people just being recognized for their talents, for their creativity, for their art, for their brands. Verity, baby, come here. Come here. She looking at me crazy. Anyways, yeah, like it just makes me feel, you know, like it's there. It's like within my grasp. It's within my grasp. And I've been trying. I've really been trying, you know, like it's like 3 months almost, no, or 2 months post grad now, and like I've really been, you know, trying to take it slow a little bit, kind of reevaluate how I want to move forward, you know what I mean? Like, so I think I've been doing that kind of unintentionally. I haven't been necessarily making my Rarity. I haven't necessarily been making myself like basically overwork myself, especially because of how burnt out I was towards the end of like graduation season, you know? Baby girl, why did you have to jump like that? But yeah, so it was just a lot, you know. I feel like I was overworking myself, and I mean, I don't want to say that like I didn't really get much from it, because I did, but it just was like, I don't know, I just don't want to move like that, because I wasn't able to like fully put my focus on everything that I wanted to, and like I was slacking in some areas. So I just realized like that was a lesson that I learned. Trying to like that hustle, trying to like no sleep, you know, overdo it with myself is just not the best way to go about things. I feel like I'm just always on edge like that, and it just doesn't work. Like eventually you just shut down, you know what I mean? So I've been trying to, you know, slow myself down, take a different approach at how I want to, you know, go about things now, and, you know, really just allow myself to like feed each area of my life that I want to, you know, explore and grow and just get into more, you know? And like, I feel like I'm always, you know, fantasizing about reaching my goals and like this future dream life that I want for myself. And I find myself like you know, what's the word? I find myself like criticizing myself a lot because of the fact that I'm not there yet. And especially because of the fact that I'm not there yet, but I know how to get there, right? But I'm struggling so much. I'm struggling so much with, actually implementing consistently everything I need to do to get there. Because trying to change as a person, trying to get rid of bad habits that you have is actually so fucking hard. I made a video about this already, about the things that I try to do to like get rid of my bad habits, and like trying to actually identity change or identity shift, and like become her, like the bitch that's in my mind right now, the bitch that I know that I can be. It's so hard, it's so fucking hard. And then simultaneously trying to love and accept the version of myself that I am right now. Don't mind her, guys. But why are you on 10 right now, Rarity? Like, what's going on? Bro, this girl is crazy. Anyways, I just try to give myself grace, I just try to like, try to go back in my mind and calm myself down and tell myself when the time is right, it's going to happen, which I know it will. It's not that like I'm scared or I'm worried that I won't get there. I know I'm gonna get there. There's like absolutely no doubt in my mind that I'm gonna get there. I haven't had a doubt since very, very young. Like I always knew what was for me. And honestly, the older I get, the bigger that vision becomes. I've never allowed myself to accept that there's no other reality besides that. And I feel like that's the only way you're gonna get to where you want to be, because if you're not relentless, if you're not delusional about your goals, about your aspirations, about the life that you want, then who else will be, for one, besides you? Because it's for you. And two, how can you ever expect to get there if you never believed you were going to get there in the first place? I feel like every single successful person has a common thing that they say about how they got to where they were at, and it's usually they were very delusional about their dreams. They were very delusional about their passions and their goals, and I feel like I live by that. However, the journey itself, which I am currently in, which I know a lot of people say to enjoy as you're, going through it, it's just hard, man. Like, it really is. Like, especially when you don't really have many people to like ask questions to, or like seek guidance from. Like, when you really feel like you're just figuring it out on your own and you're trying your best to like get information and knowledge from where you can, it's really, really hard, because like I feel like access is a privilege, having a good network is a privilege, and if you're able to get yourself that, then it's up from there. Like, you really, unless you're fucking stupid, once you have those two things, access and knowledge, there's really no reason why you shouldn't be successful. Now, the issue lies in attaining that access and knowledge. I feel like knowledge is 2026. Knowledge is very easy to obtain. Like, that is one of the easiest fucking things you can try to get for yourself, is knowledge. Even if you're not necessarily going to school or like trying to get higher education or anything, knowledge is found everywhere in this world, and it's free, especially because of the internet. And even before we had the internet, we had books. Trust me, the shit you going through, somebody else has been through it before. Somebody has written about it. Trust. And somebody has researched some shit that you're trying to figure out already. Like, nothing is new under the sun. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, that is all on you. However, access is where when you are from somewhere that doesn't have much of that, you gotta strategize, you gotta put yourself in the right places, you gotta make sure you have that knowledge first so you can even know how to maneuver, so you can get yourself that access. But it's still hard as fuck. It's so hard. Like, for example, when I was at the Essence Fest thing, you know, I think that was my first real opportunity to like genuinely network, you know, how they say you're supposed to be doing. And I don't know if I did it to my fullest potential that I could have. I think I did in a way that was more natural to me, but as in like I just let whatever conversations naturally flowed and naturally was supposed to happen around me, I let that happen. I didn't try to force anything, which I kind of like that approach, but I don't know if that's actually a, you know, successful approach or not, because that approach to me honestly has always worked for me. I always naturally gravitate towards people that I would like to naturally gravitate towards, you know what I mean? That just makes sense. So that's just me following my intuition. That's just me not trying to do too much, because I also feel like if you do too much, it can always backfire on you. But there are the people that just, you know, place themselves there. And I feel like I have a hard time doing that, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't do it in a very outwardly way. I think I just do it in really more subtle ways, if that makes sense, you know? Like, again, I just like to focus more on like genuine conversations that just happen to happen around me. And then, you know, if that leads somewhere, that leads somewhere. I think I'm conscious of that, but then again, I'm not just trying to start something just because. I don't know if that's actually going to work or not, but we'll see. Maybe I could have did a little bit more, you know, who knows. But I did meet some really cool people from doing that though. Like, I met somebody that apparently did, you know, the lady that plays Queen Charlotte on Bridgerton, I can't remember her name right now, but I met her hairstylist. Rarity, please. And honestly, I think that was one of my highlights personally, because I didn't even know who she was like until I met her. Like, I was doing interviews for the brand that I work for, and I remember hearing her say something like she had a hair brand when I was telling her to introduce herself. So I'm thinking like products or something, right? Then later, after everything is all said and done, like, I go to the bathroom and I'm like, wait, where was that lady? You know, I just remember the lady that said she had a hair brand or something. So I'm like, you know, I'm a hairstylist, so I'm like, okay, wait, let me go see where her hair brand is. Also, she was like, you know, she had that shit on. She was fucking like, she was such a unique and like amazing like person. Like, she just instantly stood out in the best way possible, and I just loved her entire vibe, her entire aura, like her energy, everything. So that also made me more comfortable with even going up to her, you know what I mean? But I just was curious to know what hair brand she had, because I wanted to like support or whatever. So I go back up to her and I ask her, and then she's like, oh no, I do hair. And then she introduces me to another hairstylist that's next to her, and then we have a little conversation, and I follow her Instagram, both of their Instagrams. And later, we all go to get seafood, and I'm not sitting nowhere near her. But then, like, somebody says something about her doing Queen Charlotte, the lady that plays Queen Charlotte's hair, and I'm like, wait, that's her? Like, you know what I mean? I never knew who the hairstylist was in the first place anyway. I try to follow most hairstylists that be doing certain celebrities' hair, but like, I didn't know who did her hair. And then like somebody says that to me, and then I go back and look at the Instagram, and I'm like, oh my god, she was literally in the pinned thing, and like I looked at it but didn't really look at it. I'm just like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Also, I think she's done like Beyonce's hair for a magazine or something. Basically, like, her career is like exactly where I want my career to be as far as being a hairstylist. Like, you're doing like creative hairstyles for like, you know, celebrities and shoots and just things like that, and you know, for fashion, basically like creating real art in that way. And that's what I want to do. Like, that's kind of the brand that I want to take Umera to. and then, you know, have my own product line off of it, which is going to happen. But it was just crazy to meet somebody in person that's actually done it. You know what I mean? And I feel like I never like really meet people that are in the positions that I want to be in. And I feel like if you surround yourself more with people that are, it just expands your mind and like opens it to where it makes it feel more accessible to you, which is what I feel like Essence Fest did. It made me feel like the success that I want, the career that I want is like literally in my hands. It's very possible. And even though I knew that before, seeing it is some completely different shit. It really is. And back to why I started this video, Poor Minds, they've always like represented that for me because of the fact that I just watched their growth since the beginning till now. And especially when it's like, you know, from women that are like genuine and like passionate about their work, and like they just get it, you know what I mean? Like people that are just similar to you and like have the same values as you. It's so cool to see. It really, really is. And like if I'm ever gonna be parasocial about anything, it's always gonna be about a woman that, you know, a boss ass bitch basically. It's always gonna be about a boss ass bitch for those reasons, because I just like admire the confidence that they carry, the audacity that they carry, you know what I mean, and the fact that they really just be doing that shit when all odds are stacked against them. You get what I'm saying? Like all odds are stacked against all odds are stacked against Black women, and the fact that like there's so many really doing that shit right now, on like right now this second, it really does, like I think representation really does fucking matter. Cause bitch, that's me. Like that can literally be me. And I feel like that's such an important feeling to have as a person, especially when you come from certain backgrounds and like it's not the norm for most people around you to like even think that far or have those big visions and goals for themselves. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Honestly, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think y'all get the point. But I guess this will be the end of the video. Thank you guys for listening. Let me know what y'all think about what I said. Bye y'all, and see y'all next time.